Adrian Kissy. Constance Graves.
Here.
Dominic Mazza.
Here.
Donna Bullock.
Here.
Kashana Owens Cody.
Here.
Larry Malden.
Here.
Sam Mather.
Here.
Pretty Mather.
Here.
Jeffrey Weiss. Not in attendance. Adrian not in attendance. Okay. So we're going to talk about maps. And so where we are now, we put out a preliminary map, which we then revised to reflect some public feedback received, where we took one of the districts out, one of the Albany districts out of Manans. We have our next public hearing scheduled for the 18th at 5 o'clock. And tonight we're going to discuss a second reiteration of a map. And so, Pretty Sam, I know you were analyzing the submissions that we got. I think Priya provided y'all with all of the shape files for everything that was submitted. So are you prepared to take it from here?
Yes, I am. I do need permission to share my screen.
You have access now.
So just this, I'm going to just quickly review from the presentation that we had done earlier, where we had analyzed the submissions. So just wanted to go over that, and then we'll show you the additional submissions that we received and how we analyzed them. So here, this was the first submission, and this was back in March, that was submitted by somebody called Dan L. And we had looked at it, and we had found that these are the districts, which are kind of what we have right now. So they gave a different configuration of the same 5 majority, plurality, non-Hispanic, Black districts. So what you see in black is what they had proposed, and the black and white line is what we currently have. So they made some minor adjustments, and you can see that this is the non-Hispanic Black column, and this is the non-Hispanic voting age, non-Hispanic Black voting age population. So they are clearly majority. 2 districts are clearly majority. District 6 is very close to being majority. And District 1 and District 4 are sitting at 43.66% for voting for total population, and 43.24 and 42.45 for voting age population. So they have the same 5 districts with slightly different configurations. So we did evaluate it, and so the next one that we looked at was Lars Dahl's. His submission back from March, I believe. And he also offered us the same 5 districts. And some of them you can see have like 2 and 3 are way over 50%. So they're strong both for total population and also for voting age population. So we looked at it and we said, okay, this we still get 5. We don't get anything new, but slightly different configuration. So then we looked at this individual called D. Leinung. And what he has was, he also offers the same. And the 7th one, I should actually take it out because these are the ones with slightly different percentages. And here, he has 3 districts. He or she has 3 districts which are over 50%. So a different configuration, close to, very similar to what we have currently. Then we looked at the map by Gwen Pope, which offered us something new, which is 7 districts. So we looked at that and we discussed it last time. Now, what you can see here is that the population is the same, right? But in order to make 7, you can see how the percentages dropped from strong over 50%. Now they're less. They're in the 40s and even 39. Okay, so there are 2 ways to look at it. One is because the population is the same. Do we want 5 districts with like strong over 50 or close to 50%, or do we want to kind of dilute it a little bit, have more districts? So anyway, this offered us something different to look at. But the only problem that we saw when we discussed last time, that this map and the same as, which would be the same as the next one, they went into Manans, and we already got a lot of feedback that we do not want to go into Manans. So this was something that we had looked at last time. And then Joan Ramsey's map was very similar to Gwen Pope's map. And last time we heard from Larry that, they agreed that their maps are very similar. And so we could just look at Gwen Pope's or whichever one. But here the same issue was, that they go into Manans for District 3. So these were the ones that we discussed last time. And from last time, when we had our meeting, we had a testimony from Lars Dahl, who said that he submitted 3 maps. So we looked at them, and these are the files that we got from Priya. And here, if you look at it, we are still getting the same 5 districts that we had before. And this is one of his submissions that we had seen before, where they were kind of like in 2 different sections. But regardless, we still got 5 non-Hispanic, Black, majority, plurality districts. And if you look at it, it's really 4, because in District 1, it's so tight that it's not a non-Hispanic Black majority district. It's actually a non-Hispanic white majority district. So in this, actually, what you get is just 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So one does not.
Can you say that again, what you just said?
Sure.
About District 1?
Yeah, District 1, if you look at the numbers here, Marie, non-Hispanic white is 33.43%, and non-Hispanic Black is 33.36%. So it's actually less, so it's no longer shown as a non-Hispanic Black majority, because even though the difference is very tiny, but when the computer looks at the math, it says, no, it's not a non-Hispanic Black majority district. So with this offering,
But considering Hispanics, it would be
definitely. Right now in this round, Marie, I'm looking at pure non-Hispanic Black districts. I'm also reporting the Hispanic population. So yes, when we add the Hispanic population, then it would be. But right now we are kind of trying to focus on non-Hispanic Black majority because we want to make sure, see, when Dr. what's her name? No,
Dr.
when
Hanley?
when Dr. Handley, when she looks at it, then she can tell us, if the Hispanics vote like the non-Hispanic Black people. So that is something, but right now, you can say, but right now in this analysis, we are looking at strictly non-Hispanic Black majority plurality. And I'm also providing you so you can see that if we add the two, yes, it will be a Black plus Hispanic MMD. And here what we are seeing, so right now my goal was to just look at non-Hispanic Black majority, and then we also have the Hispanic numbers, we can always add them, okay? Yeah, so if we look at non-Hispanic Black majority plurality districts, so in this version, in this iteration of his map submission, there are technically only 4 as we are just looking at non-Hispanic Blacks. Okay, so this is a new addition. And then now we go to 5-4-2. So on May 4th, this was his second submission that he talked about. And we analyzed this, and this one, we get back to our 5 that we currently have. So which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And look at the percentages. We are getting back to over 50%. So we analyzed this and we said, okay, if we are looking at non-Hispanic Black majority plurality districts, then we are just getting the 5. We can always add Hispanic population and make them all, for sure. Other than District 5, we can make them MMDs. Okay?
Okay.
So now we move on to the third one, which offered something more. So this one gave us 7 districts in which non-Hispanic Blacks are in majority. In some districts, it could be tight, but when we add the Hispanic population, they're good. So we looked at this and we said, okay, this is good because we are not going into Manans, which is a good thing, okay? And in District 1, we are stretching ourselves out, but regardless.
Number 1 is weak.
Number 1
is only 38 against 32.
Yeah, but see, still we are in majority, and if we add the Hispanics, we should still be good. So this was a map that we looked at closely, and we thought this is the one that offers us 7 clear non-Hispanic Black majority plurality districts. Obviously, when we make 7, then we no longer see the 50 or 50 plus percentages that we saw in the 5 non-Hispanic Black districts. But regardless, and if we are going with the adding the Hispanics, then this is a good map. So what we did was we looked at this and we looked at Gwen Pope's submission where we had 7 districts. In both of these, we have 7 districts. So what we did was we modeled our Plan B, and I'm still not calling it Plan B because I want you to see it first and see how we have done it. And then what we will do is we will overlay Gwen Pope's as well as Lars Dahl's 5-4-3. The other 2, I was like, okay, whatever they are. And especially when he made the 3rd submission, then I thought that was probably his best. and it offered more. So with this is the presentation for you to give, for you to see how we are going to make our plan B, where we can work with 7 clearly non-Hispanic Black majority districts. And when we add the Hispanic population, it only becomes stronger. Okay?
Yeah.
So with this, I'm just going to end. And of course, you've seen the plan A, where we have 5 districts, and 3 of them are clearly over 50%. So there is no guesswork. So clearly, there are 3 which are over 50%, and 1 and 6 are still close to 50%. And when we add the Hispanic population to it, then they're going to be strong MMDs in our plan A. But now I want to show you the plan B, which I have worked on. But of course, I want to run it by you to see if there is something, you have the local knowledge. So I'm looking for your input. So with this, I'm going to stop sharing my presentation and actually go into the application. So does anyone have any questions so far?
I have one question.
Sure.
Do any of these that you're considering change it drastically the footprint of what we have previously agreed to?
Okay.
And the
what
reason
we
I'm
did-
asking that question is, are we going to then seriously affect the other work that's been done by the majority committee?
This will be another option. So the plan A is going to stay the way it is. And this will be another configuration that you have the option of looking into. And
Yes, but is
deciding.
it the same overall footprint of the previous one?
It's going to be different because before we had only 5, and now we are from the same population, we are trying to carve out 7.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
is
understand.
going to be different.
So this is more based on the public input that we are getting. This is
I
based-
understand.
I could speak to that, Nick.
Okay.
As I've been saying to everybody, and as I've been saying to the ACRC, the maps that we have had out have been very preliminary. And
Okay.
there's always been the potential that there were going to be drastic changes made to it. That's not something that we really need to be concerned about. I mean, our goal is to get the strongest and the most MMD districts that we can get, given
Yeah.
that most of the increases in population are in communities of color.
Mhm.
So if there's
I-
drastic changes,
I
then that's
agree
okay.
with all of that. It's just a simple question. How much different is it? That's all I want to know.
And what I'll do is, Nick, I'm going to show it to you in the application where
Okay.
I can overlay so you can
Okay.
see.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
So, and also, like all of you know, that Plan A was made to make sure that can we still retain our 5 minority districts.
Mhm.
And that proved that. And we actually we looked at all the minorities and we thought, okay, we can do 6. But now, knowing more, I think we can offer 7 strong
Okay.
districts. So let me stop sharing this and actually share the application. Okay. Let's see. Let me do one thing. Let me add the current district so I can Bear with me for just a minute. I'm going to add the current districts also. Okay, I've added that and I'm going to, okay. So you can see my screen. And to answer your questions like District 1, this is where District 1 currently is. So we went out a little bit and that is what our District 1 is right now. And let me give you the numbers just like I was giving you the numbers for everything else. So this is District 1. And
The
here,
dotted lines represent what we approved previously.
no, the dotted lines are your current Albany
Okay.
district.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So now if you look at the population here, we have a 38.69, almost 39% non-Hispanic Black population, 32% non-Hispanic white population, and a solid 16% Hispanic. So when we add, so we are looking at non-Hispanic Blacks only, but when we add the Hispanic population, it's going to be a strong MMD. Okay, and now how did we do that? So let me also show you the neighborhood associations, which people were very particular about. So you can see that there are so many neighborhoods here, okay? And you try your best to keep them together, but it does not happen all the time. So I'm going to show you what we have done. I'll just label them. Okay. So here, this district has the Port of Albany. It has the Mount Hope Townhouse Association. It has the Delaware area, but the Delaware area itself, we could not get the whole of it. I think we did. Let me check. So this is the Delaware area. We could not get this because that was giving us too much population, but we tried to keep most of it together. And if you look at this one, this is Whitehall. And Whitehall and Delaware area seem to have an overlap, but this is how we configured our District 1. And I'm just going to change, okay. Okay, so now that we know that all these districts are non-Hispanic Black, I just wanted to turn off that shading so we can see the neighborhood associations. And you can see that this is how some of the neighborhoods are split, but it's a very tricky kind of area. So you can see that this is the 2nd Avenue neighborhood, and this is split between 1 and 5. But this was split before also, so we are not introducing any new changes. All right, so now if we were to look,
so the dotted line is the district as it's currently configured.
that's correct.
Okay, and so previously the district was already splitting
Yes.
Well, I don't see where it was already splitting Second Avenue though.
Okay, let me show it to you. Let me turn off the labels for a minute. They're kind of, okay. So now if you look at, now, Marie, you may be actually right that it was not split before, but we are splitting it now. But then if you look at other neighborhoods, they were split. And so we are trying to keep them as well as make it a majority non-Hispanic Black district. So look at this neighborhood. This is South End. And this was split before, and the way we are showing it, it's still split. But you're right about Second Avenue. It was not split before, but it is being split now. And Delaware area was split, and we are trying to do the best we can. But since it is a big area, it was split, and it still is split.
That is not
Okay.
split. Where you had the cursor before, right here, that green one. Yeah, this is not split anymore. This was split earlier.
Yeah, this, it's still split, Sam, between 1 and 5. It's a big area. Delaware area.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
It extends all the way.
Mhm. So those are the things that we have here. That is District 1. Now, if we go to, and while we are there, what I want to do is I also want to overlay and show you how Lars did his District 1. So the yellow line is what Lars did, and you can see that we are taking a lot of his suggestions in our District 1. And if we look at Gwen Popes, so we'll turn that on as well. And I'm going to put it up so you can see Gwen had a similar configuration. She had this area, but regardless, this neighborhood would be split anyways. So this is how she had it, and her configuration is in this pink line that you can see.
Okay.
Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to show you District 2. So District 2 is over here. And you can see that the dotted line shows you how it currently is. And this is how we have, and let me show you the numbers for District 2. So if we look at District 2, it has a 13% non-Hispanic, 13% Hispanic population, 15% non-Hispanic white, 55%. So here we are still seeing a strong number, 55%. So that is what our District 2 is. And if we add the Hispanic population, it's a strong MMD. So what we try to achieve here, let's look at the neighborhood associations. And let's look at what Lars had said. And Lars' configuration is slightly different. And I'll show you why ours, what we are proposing. So let's look at the neighborhoods now. So if we look at this neighborhood, this is West Hill. And before, you can see how West Hill was split, and we are trying to keep it all as much. There is a little split here, but we are trying to keep most of it in District 2. Okay. And then there is this neighborhood, which is Washington Square. We are keeping a part of Washington Square. And mostly it is the West Hill neighborhood. And it's a strong non-Hispanic Black majority district. Now moving on to District 3. What you can see here that we have done, we have tried to keep most of it the way it is. We took this part, okay, in order to keep the West Hill neighborhood together. We gave it to District 2, and we were able to give up some areas here. And so this is how our District 3 is. And let's look at the numbers for District 3. We have a good, strong 46% non-Hispanic Black district. And we picked up this area. Before it was just still here, but just look at this. We are not going into Manans. We are not going into Colony. We are just staying within. And if you look at the neighborhoods that we have here, this is North Albany, Shaker Park. And we have this neighborhood, which is West End. And if we look at, and then we have a part of Upper Washington Avenue. And it's a strong non-Hispanic Black majority. And when we add Hispanic population, it's going to be really strong. And if you can see, we have tried to make our districts compact. So if you look at District 4, I'll show you the statistics for District 4. This one is slightly tight, but still it's non-Hispanic Black majority district. And when we add the Hispanic population, it's going to be a strong one. Now, if you look at this, we have tried to keep some neighborhoods together. So if you look at this is Pine Hills neighborhood. This is Beaverwick. This is West End, and this is a part of West Hill. And now let's move on to District 5.
Oh,
Did anyone have a question? Okay, so let's look at District 5. Let's look at the numbers and see the deviations are very, very close. So they are all within our required under 2.5. So they are all very, very close to the ideal population. So when we go to District 5, it's a strong, we are seeing a 40% non-Hispanic Black, and we are seeing 28% non-Hispanic White and 15% Hispanic. So once again, a strong MMD. So now we look at the neighborhoods. Let me see what neighborhood it is. Yeah. So this is, I can't see the neighborhoods. Yeah. So we have the
Which lines there represent the current district?
the white and black lines.
Yeah, I can't tell because I can't tell the way they're gone.
Okay, tell you what, let's put them up top so you can see better. Is that better? And what I will do is once I'm done describing these districts, I'm going to send you a detailed map so that you can analyze and you can, before we put anything out, I want to get feedback from you all to see what is acceptable and what is not, so that we put out a strong, robust map which offers 7 strong MMDs. Okay, because it may be a lot to digest right now, but I think you would have to look at it. And here, if you look at these neighborhoods, we have the Delaware area. Then we have the 2nd Avenue that we talked about. Neighborhood. And then we have the South End. So did I give the numbers for District 5? It's a good, strong, and I already gave the numbers. So that is what we have. And if we want to look at
this
what
is District 5 that's not currently
it's new.
MMD.
Yeah.
It would be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we can see, I made this 5, maybe this could be 5 and this could be 6, whichever way we can number them, but I think this is good enough. Okay, so now we want to move on to District 6. So we have District 6, which goes like this. And let's look at the neighborhoods. So we have a part of the warehouse district. Mostly the warehouse district is in District 3. Then we have downtown BID. Then we have mansion completely within this district. And this is historic pastures housing development.
So were those previously part of District 1?
Let's see. Let's find out. No, they were part of District 6. So they were part of District 6 and we are still keeping them in District 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we move on. Did I tell you the numbers for District 6? Not yet. So District 6 is 39% non-Hispanic Black, and we have non-Hispanic white is 36% or 37%. And when you add the Hispanic population, once again, it's a strong MMD. So now let's move on to District 7. District 7 of 44% non-Hispanic Black and 34 or 35% non-Hispanic white. And once again, we can always add. So it's a nice compact district right here, District 7. And if we look at the neighborhoods that make it, we have the Arbor Hill Concerned Citizens. And you can see Arbor Hill is in 3, 7, and 5. And then you can see
recording in progress. Mute or unmute yourself by pressing.
So this is what we are considering as Plan B.
Oh,
Where-
Arbor Hill is split between 3 districts?
It is right now, and we can take a look at it one more time, but in order to keep the, so let's see, this is Arbor Hill, and it was split before too. So it was split in District 6, in District 3. Yeah, it was split before too, and it is split in our current configuration. And if you look at, let me turn on Lars configuration and Gwen Pope's. So if you look at it, Lars is pretty much offering the same configuration that we are offering. And if we look at Gwen Pope's, so Gwen is offering different configuration, but she's also splitting this Arbor Hill Concerned Citizens. Because we have two goals here. One is to have the MMDs and try to have at least 7 MMDs, and then to keep the neighborhoods together. And we are doing the best given all these competing goals that we have. So this is something that we came up with. And soon after the meeting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a blown up map that you can zoom in, you can look at the streets, and then you can provide us feedback. And so we would polish it further, and then this would become the MMD's map B or plan B.
And are you also going to give us the detailed table with the numbers for each?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to give you every possible detail so that you can look at it, because you know the areas more. We go primarily by numbers and primarily by data that is provided to us. So definitely want you to look at each district and see what is acceptable and what is not. And the reason why I have overlaid Lars Dahl's map, so you can see what he's been thinking and how close we are to. So if he's recommending District 7, most of it like this, we are also doing that. Yeah, the offside is that one of the neighborhoods is being split, but it was split before too.
Are we including more of it than when it was split before? Like, did we add more to the district, or is it like almost the same cut? I'm just curious if we.
Sure, let me show that to you. I kind of keep shuffling it up and down so we can see it better. See how it was split before too? And I'll click on it so you can. And here it is. See, it was split like this before too. In fact, they had this thing coming in. So I don't know why, but yeah. So they had this. We tried to make it more compact. And
so that's current though, right?
yeah, the white and black lines are what it is right now.
So can you overlay our revised map plan A?
Yes, I can do that. So let me stop sharing for a bit, find that layer and add to it, okay? Okay, where is it? Okay, I am. Okay. Okay. I'm not being able to overlay them on the same canvas because I didn't prepare for it. But these are our current districts and I can put them side by side for you to see. But when I send you the map, I'll put in the current plan A as well. Okay?
You're muted.
No, I'm not muted.
Um,
Yeah. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
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 So that is what I was saying, that right now, for whatever reason, I'm not, but let's see if I can share my screen. Let's see if I can share. So this is my current, this is the plan A that we have. And if you can kind of see them side by side, but what I'll do is I'll process it and bring it in the same one for you to see. So this is how our current plan A is. So you can see District 3 is pretty much, it just changes some shape around here. Then we have this district over here. Then we have District 2, District 4. This one, District 1 goes out, further out in order to grab the people that it needs. And then if you can see that this District 5 is a complete new district. So this is what we carved out as a new district. And this one pretty much is quite similar to what this was. And then we got, well, we are not really focusing on this MMD, the sixth one that we had created, because we are trying to get total non-Hispanic Black majority, knowing that if we have to add the Hispanic population, we can do that. It'll only make it stronger MMD. Make sense? So in this,
Yeah, I want to go back and look at the numbers of like the first Plan A map against the numbers for these districts.
sure, and I'm going to get you all that in a nice tabular format so that you can see that.
Okay.
Would that be voting age population?
I'm going to give you both. I'm going to give you total population as well as voting age population.
The plan against comparing the two?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm also going to give you the PowerPoint where you can see the numbers from Lars Dahl's map 3, as well as Gwen Pope's map. So you can see what the community feedback that we have received and how we have tried to incorporate it in our own MMD map.
Okay. Comments, questions?
Are the numbers, can you quickly tell the total numbers? One plan against the other?
Oh, sure.
Just
Sure.
verbally, you don't have to put them up, just verbally would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in this PowerPoint here.
Okay,
The MMD numbers are given over here. This is our Plan A revised. We have non-Hispanic, white, Black, Hispanic. And
Mhm.
I'm going to send you this PowerPoint to you anyway, so.
But those are percentages. I'm looking at the population numbers, the
Oh,
total.
sure. Yeah, I can provide you with total
Yeah,
population.
it's just actually, I just want to know basically where we were with our original plan, the total number of citizens, and with the new plan, the total number of citizens affected. That's all I'm looking for. It's how many more people we needed to get to the current plan, basically, is my question.
Yeah, you know what, Mr. Maza? We actually have the same, we have to be close to the ideal population, right?
Okay,
So if you are looking at total population, all the districts would be as close to 8105
okay.
as.
So are you telling me we picked up another 8,100 people?
Yeah. Actually, two more, because before we had only 5, or you can say we had 6, but yeah, you're right about that.
16,000 would then, we had 6 districts, now we have 7.
Yeah, so 81.
And so we needed another 8,100 people to get to where we are. Is that a reasonably fair statement?
Absolutely. Because we are
Okay.
adding another district. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Thank you.
I would just say that's give or take, because it's not exactly, yeah,
I know it's not exact, but it's
Yeah.
just a ballpark number.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just want it for my own
yeah.
Sure.
knowledge.
Sure.
Okay, that's done. I guess I'm done with my questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
So does anybody else have questions? I know it's kind of a lot to digest, and it's kind of hard to really pull it all together, when we're in the Zoom thing and you have to really be able to look at it, more in depth.
Yeah.
What I guess I could ask one more question. What did you do with a new plan with 7 districts? What did Delaware Ave look like? One of the issues that Lars raised was keeping Delaware Ave intact. And I'm just wondering how many different districts is Delaware Ave in?
Oh, sure. I'll tell you. Okay, Delaware Ave is this area, I believe. Okay, this is it's Delaware area, right? Is that the same thing that you're talking about? Delaware
No,
area.
Delaware Ave is a street. It is an area, but it's also a street.
Okay, let's label the streets so I would know where Delaware is.
Delaware Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just making my streets visible.
Okay.
So bear with me. Okay. Delaware, if you could tell me it, I'm imagining it would be somewhere.
Oh, you're almost there with Whitehall. It's down a little further.
Am I anywhere near?
Mhm.
It's actually, Noonan Lane.
Yeah, isn't it right where was that where your cursor was just? Because it cuts through, it goes to Bethlehem, right? Like it's,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
goes
it goes into
Bethlehem.
this could, yeah,
that's it right where that purple, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think
where
it
is it when
goes-
it goes, it's following it to, back to the city?
Yeah, you're right. That is Delaware Avenue.
it's long. Yeah, I just, I, I personally think it's, not something that we want to consider, but just for my knowledge, I just, but, I don't want to keep everybody here all night on that one issue.
So Delaware, I don't see.
Okay,
it.
this is Delaware Avenue. It goes all
Okay,
the
so
way.
it is all,
It goes all the way. So
all
this
the
is
way in District 1, then it enters District
It starts right here,
4.
yeah, it starts here.
and it goes all the way down.
So
into
it goes
Bethlehem.
here. It's
Yeah.
in our new District 5. Then it goes into our new District 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I give you those large maps, you can zoom in and provide me feedback.
Okay,
So,
that's
So
fine.
now it looks like 1, 2,
and 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's 3 districts.
Yeah,
That's
but
3 districts in the city of Albany.
yeah,
So it then goes into Bethlehem, it goes into Bern, it goes into Knox.
oh, it goes way, way far out, but I'm
Yeah,
just
to the country.
considering the city.
Yeah.
3 districts. That answers my question. Thank you.
Do anybody have any comments or questions? I have a question. So in your software, do you have a check for compactness?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Contiguity?
Yeah. Yeah. And when we give you these maps, we have all the compactness and contiguity. We run those tests. And yeah, we have all that. So we generate reports for compactness and we can provide that.
Okay.
For compactness, what I recommend is that the best thing is the eye test because these numbers, you get all these numbers and then you feel like, okay, now what? I got these numbers. What do I do with them?
Okay. So if no one has any comments or questions, then we're all gonna need to do our in-depth reviews of all the stuff that we have right now. So we can talk about them again on Saturday and make a decision as to whether or not we want to move forward with this map.
Sounds good to me.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
So if there is not anything else, if no one has anything else,
Thank you, Sam and Pretty.
I will,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Well done.
thank you. Thank
I
you.
will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We gotta make the motion. Who made the
I have
motion?
a second.
Do I need a second? Yes, second. We need.
Second.
So it has been properly moved and second that we adjourn this meeting. If there are no questions, no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is adjourned.
All
Good night,
right,
everybody.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night.